And you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, record. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1, 2, 3, record.
Recording.
I am recording. You did skip 2, or I didn't hear it somehow, which stressed me.
I heard 2.
I didn't.
Oh, well, we're
Should
all
we do it
recording.
again?
No, we're fine.
I am recording.
Oh, yeah.
I still hit record. I felt a little panic when it went 1, 3.
Sorry.
It's like Lethal Weapon.
All right. Well, we're
With
recording.
gusto here. With gusto. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Live from the internet, it's Popsicles.
We're back for the summer.
Where it's our first episode of 2017.
Oh yeah, we waited till it was. We're like the summer fill-in, like on
We're the
NBC
boys
program.
of summer. We're the ex-presidents. We follow the wind, not the summer. We follow the waves.
What number is it?
94.
That was a great summer. We picked the best summer to do.
That
The
was when The
Mask.
Endless Summer 2 came out.
The Mask, Little Rascals,
I didn't see Little Rascals, but I saw The Mask in theaters.
True Lies, Angels in the Outfield. That was a
Angels
great
in the
summer with the
Outfield.
movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I have to address something like at the top of the hour. Emily Schmemily confessed online that she hadn't seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Also,
And-
Benson is now known as Emily Schmemily on this show.
Yeah, if you don't listen to my shows, I'm trans. My name is Emily now. But the important thing is that
okay,
I had not seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But here's
I
the
thought
thing,
you were going
like,
to get really accusatory about it.
No,
I'm like, whoa,
no.
he was waiting
I
for
was
this
just
thing.
I'm glad that you're now finally like awoken to the greatness. But here's the thing that was just kind of insane to me, that Emily and Andrew started a podcast called Super Mario
sure.
Brothers Minute about Super Mario Brothers because they've obviously have a true love for this movie. I've listened; it's very entertaining. But
It's
how do
already
you
up?
go through your entire life watching Super Mario Brothers so much and not seeing a movie that came out 1 year later?
No,
That's like
it came out a couple years before.
that came out in 1990.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought Super Mario Brothers was 89 for some reason. That's the Wizard I'm thinking of. But anyways, how do you? It's only
I like the
3
Wizard
years
too.
younger and it's infinitely better. How does that happen?
I don't know if I agree with that. I loved the.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
How does that happen?
Well, I mean, I've seen The Wizard too, but not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out a year before I was born.
I understand that.
Super Mario Brothers, I didn't see in theaters. I was still too young for that.
Turtles
but
was kind of
they
over when young Emily was a young person.
Yet Super Mario Brothers somehow entered your freaking.
But that was 93.
I guess.
But also, I didn't see it in theaters. For some reason, when I was about 5 years old at daycare, they showed it to us at daycare. They had a VHS copy of Super Mario Brothers, and we watched it at daycare. And I remember, I think I told this story on the podcast, but all my friends at daycare were like making fun of the movie, talking about how bad it was. But I was enthralled. I loved it.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been listening to a lot of Radio Brendo Man in our podcast app since while I was out there learning how to be a better podcaster. Brendo's pissed. He hates that fucking movie. He hates that fucking movie.
It's terrible.
I know,
It's so
but
good.
live and let live.
I am. I'm totally. I just said I listened to the show.
Do you have a least favorite minute of it that we could have you on for?
I don't know. Probably anything involving the Mushroom King, and maybe
I
like when
that's my favorite part of the movie.
maybe when Yoshi is
I'm
introduced,
very fond.
or
mushroom-
like
Maybe we can have you on for the first Yoshi minute.
the fucking Yoshi. What the fuck? That fucking little
He's a little
T-Rex,
raptor.
Velociraptor bullshit.
Don't you think it's funny that like there's somebody out there 10 years earlier that's talking with the same venom about the Popeye movie?
Yeah,
And their
I love
friend
that
probably
movie
has a Popeye minute, and they're like, "It's not Popeye. He doesn't like spinach. How can that be Popeye?"
Hey, sorry, my cat is running wild. In the
My
sun.
other favorite thing that's happened in the last 6 months since we last did a show is that Derek is like smoking weed now.
Well,
is this true? I didn't hear this.
Well, hold on. Let's start the.
Oh, we
show
got to go in
properly.
order. I'm sorry.
Brendo came out guns blazing, but we still have our.
So long. It's been so. People are clamoring. I get asked at least twice, 3 times a week, when is the next Popsicles
By
coming?
who?
By all kinds of fans. This was Brian Apodaca's birthday wish.
When was his birthday?
Like a few weeks ago, like a month ago.
Okay.
Well,
So we're close.
here's another question: why is Brian Apodaca obsessed with going to Long John Silver's with you guys?
I'm curious as to how that.
I don't know either, but it's. I mean, like I like there's the Long John Silver's KFC in Yucaipa.
See, that's I believe maybe not that one specifically, but that is the one. That combination was reviewed on Doughboys, and they felt that the Long John Silver's was not up to snuff. It wasn't a true Long John Silver's.
Our Long John Silver's is just fine because I'm mainly a Hush Puppies kind of guy when it comes to Long John Silver's, and they're quality Hush Puppies. I usually get Hush Puppies and then some chicken. Like that's my.
Yeah, I've never been to a Long John Silver's.
Never.
I can't imagine.
I've been in an A&W / Long John Silver's.
A&W / Long
John
Silver's.
Where is that?
There was one in Baldwin Park,
Were
but I
you
don't
in
think
The
it's there
Shining?
anymore.
Is that where?
No, it was
How does a fast food boy how does a fast food person growing up how do you not go to Long John Silver's? You've been
that was
everywhere
the only
else.
one that I was ever near. Really, there wasn't really a lot of
There's Long John Silver's in Cyprus, isn't there?
No.
No?
Well, I've never really been
You can
to
say
Cyprus.
girl, by the way. You don't have to say person, just for the record.
I'm sorry. But
anyway, it'll happen.
There's none in
one day.
Cyprus. I don't even know where the closest one is. I mean, I'm sure Brian Apodaca has tweeted at me at some point, but I don't know where the closest one is.
I don't think Brian Apodaca was aware of the show Doughboys, so I'm like, we can't do this. We can't.
Well, I've told him he feels that we would do it better. Doughboys is an amazing podcast. I'll give a shout out to that.
I don't disagree.
Really,
and now there's a show on the Benview Network about Doughboys.
There is. It's called Faux Boys on Doughboys. Check it out. It's good stuff.
Snake is eating its tail right here on Benview.
Well, that's the whole internet, basically.
Anyway, let's not get too far before we miss out on everyone's favorite segment. Brendo Man will sing a new hot summer jam.
Yes.
And this time Emily will try to get it.
And
who knows if her ears are to the grindstone these days?
I'm going to fail.
Emily, you keeping up with the hot new tracks?
I would be very proud of you if you did. But let's see. So I'll put that in the chat. And Brendo, just sing it.
Is it supposed to be this hot all summer long? I've never would have believed you if 3 years ago you told me I'd be here writing this song. But here I am, next to you. The sky's so blue in Malibu. Next to you in Malibu. Next to you, baby.
You got that?
Is it over?
Yes.
Do you want me to? Derek gets mad when I do my fake guess name thing.
I'd like to
give it the old college try.
Oh, that's got to be Next to You in Malibu by Squeaky Bubs.
No, like a real person. Who would you guess?
I don't know.
I have the Squeaky Bubs. Bubs?
Yeah, that's what I said. I have no idea, Derek.
I have that album.
It's Miley Cyrus's new single.
I've actually listened to this, and I didn't recognize the lyrics.
Freshly engaged again to Liam Hemsworth.
Really? They're back on?
That's why this song is so like a happy song. It's like we've gotten out of, she's out of her depression, out of the.
I saw Miley Cyrus at the Women's March.
Bangers. Oh my god, she's my hero. Like Bangers is an amazing out. Like when I first heard Malibu,
I do like that album. I will say, Derek. I have heard that. I've heard Bangers. I've heard the whole album. I like that.
Well, when I heard this new song, I was like, I don't like Happy Miley. This sucks. And then I listened through all of Bangers. And listened to Malibu.
Pretty happy in Bangers.
She deserves this. She deserves some happiness. She deserves to settle down. But I love Bangers.
It's a good album.
Anyway, so in the past couple months, Brendo and friends have been slowly helping me deal with life in a medicinal.
And the only way that I know.
And well, you told this story on Radio Brendo Man, but you omitted the pot parts, which made me sad.
I don't know.
You just like to
show.
keep it squeaky clean
It's
on
a
Radio
family
Brendo Man.
show.
Well, me and Brendo, we've gone to a few movies.
I talked about going to get high, watch wrestling on Radio Brendo Man.
Well, then what's wrong with us seeing Pee-wee's Big Adventure? Well, that one...
I talked about that.
Like, did you find your pipe? Like, Brendo brought...
Oh, I left it at home. I'm a
He didn't have a pipe. We were going to go see Pee-wee's Big Adventure at the New Beverly.
The world was trying to stop us from smoking weed before we went and saw Tim Burton.
And Brendo goes, is there a place where I can buy a pipe around here? I'm like, you're in the middle of Hollywood. We literally went 3 blocks away.
But it was right next to a sneaker store, so we had to, like, scoop past all the sneaker boys.
Brendo was like, it was like an Indiana Jones thing, and he was
like
solid.
A tough boy convention.
He was like sneakerheads.
They are. It's a bunch of tough boys.
He looked over the horizon like sneakerheads. I hate these guys.
They're tough boys. I don't like them. They act all tough, and they got their Jordans on. I don't get it.
But then he bought a pipe, and then we tried to smoke in the busiest alley. And you
don't
smoke in alleys that are in good neighborhoods.
Jews like walking around and like coming from temple or whatever. And then there was like
the neighborhood is right. Yeah.
It was the busiest alley I've ever been in.
And it was a good neighborhood, so nobody cared about being in an alley. And it looks like we were up to no good because we kept like walking around looking for a space.
Like the tough boys.
We were the tough boys at that.
And there was all these little kids just playing in the street, and I don't know,
watching us.
It was fucking weird. So I'm like, finally, Derek convinced me to like, let's go hotbox in my car,
which he didn't want to do because he didn't want
to. Why didn't?
I lost you guys.
Well, Brendo didn't want his car to smell like weed.
Hold on. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you hear us?
Yes. Sorry, it was broken up a little bit.
Brendo didn't want the car to smell like weed, I guess.
Nah, it was going to smell like weed eventually. It's fine.
That's what he said. And then we were in there for a while.
Wait, do you have a new car? Like,
oh yeah, I got a Prius because my the Hyundai got totaled. It was parked outside of Phil's house, and it got totaled.
It was my friend Alex P. Keaton related. Totaling,
Alex P. Keaton is my friend. We were there watching Family Ties when we heard a loud crash outside. And
oh no.
Yeah. This drunk lady ran into my parked car.
Mike, something bad happened to my car on my way to get home to record that podcast. So the podcast
so you're saying the podcast left is right. Cursed. It's a car cursing show.
But then you're in a better car now, and I got something that really needed to be fixed. So maybe it's like in disguise.
Yeah. I mean, I have a car now, but it's like, it's not fucking cheap.
But now you're showing me like all the touch button things. And
yeah.
And beforehand, we went out to eat, and like a gas station was being robbed or something. And
I don't know what the fuck was going on, but like
it
was a
4-star wanted level happening right across the street.
Yeah, there was a helicopter and like 20 LAPD. Like shit was going down.
And but Brenda was kind of freaking me out.
What was that place called? Fat Sal's?
We were eating at Fat Sal's.
That place was really good.
But anyway, we were hotboxing in his car, and Brendo was like, look at you, you're like Gandalf spitting out ships. And that made me laugh. So we've been doing that, and then yesterday I was with a friend, and we were at I had my first freak out last night, and it wasn't fun.
It never is.
We went to
weed freak out.
Yeah, and we went to an outdoor screening of Rogue One Street Food Cinema, and my friend brought just a vape pen. I've used that specific one before, but this time we were in a crowd, and he's like, "Don't puff it out," and so I learned how to like kind of breathe it all in.
Ooh, yeah.
and that makes you significantly more higher. And I thought since I was doing way less hits that it wouldn't be as bad. And then I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I shouldn't do anymore. And then it got really bad. And then just like the intenseness of everybody sitting around me started to like crush my inner image. And then I looked at my friend and I'm like, I've got to leave now. And then I got up and I was just like, okay, I'll just walk this off. And then I was walking toward a speaker that was playing like the Imperial March. And it was like that moment in Incredible Hulk when they're shooting the sonar at him. And I was just like, ugh! And I was just like, just make it to the end. And then I got myself water and had to sit down for a little bit. And then I was like caked in sweat for a minute.
And then you use Radio Brendo Man to calm you down.
And then I walked around. I was listening. I just needed to hear calming voices, but you were freaking out during it over some fucking thing. I just needed to hear normal voices.
That's funny.
And then that's not the movie to watch when you're incredibly high.
One time,
for me, what's that?
Sorry, I just was gonna say the piece of advice that I have is the times that I've gotten the most high is like with other people's stuff, because like I guess it's like maybe because I don't know why that is. Maybe it's like stuff like people have different, and like I don't know their stuff. This is my stuff, and like for instance, the Jolly Ranchers incident at Comic-Con.
That's true.
And
although
then
you were never at all panicky during that.
No, I was writing that out. That was like a perfect sweet spot where it was like I was definitely too high, but I wasn't like I don't know.
But that was also where you made the rookie mistake of you popped one and then 10 minutes later we're like, I don't feel anything, so you popped another.
Yes. Which always leads to bad things happening with edibles. But then another time, Emily and I, well, you were there, but you left. Emily and I were at a party, and you, Derek, but you left. And Emily and I were talking to a certain famous, well, not famous, I guess, well-known person, writer, and
what do we do?
What?
Like a gossip newspaper we're doing.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
because we're saying we're talking to a famous person.
Yeah. Well, his stuff was definitely much more potent. I'm guessing it was like really expensive, top shelf stuff. And so after we finished talking with him, Emily and I just seriously sat down. Like it was like us sitting in these chairs against the wall for like, it felt like we were sitting there for like 2 hours.
Oh wow, I missed that.
It was after you left.
I think you left. I think he was frustrated with us because he needed like people to talk to when we were just sitting on the wall.
He got mad that we left to go talk with said person that we were talking to.
Watched Fury 7.
Yeah, and then we went and Was it 6?
I thought it was 7.
No, it would have been 6 because this was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But so then we went and watched. We somehow walked to the ArcLight and watched the movie. And yeah, I was the most high I think I've ever been in my life.
Really, that time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Were you getting
some high grade? I don't even know. Whatever it was that we
partook What were you using?
It was just like smoking it, right? Wasn't it?
A cigarette.
Were you guys helping each other, or
what do you mean? How do you mean helping each other?
Or were you annoying? Like I needed to be alone.
No, we were both just kind of in like doing, just riding it out.
And then that movie,
I felt like I was underwater.
That's how I felt. And I felt I needed to be near, because what I like to do is actually I like to watch blocks of 90s Saturday morning commercials. And it just like puts me in like a safe place. I don't need the galaxy to be in danger while I am freaking the hell out. I don't need things to be on the line. I need to be in a safe space. I need to see that Sabrina is going to go to the Animal Kingdom this week on Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Well, I mean, other than that, weed's really fun, right?
And then I came home and slept 11 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
I stayed up till 4 a.m. on Saturday morning watching Japanese wrestling, and then I slept for 8 hours. and then Phil was having a garage sale. And it's fucking hot. It's been like 90 plus degrees. I had a field trip on Friday and I thought I was gonna die.
I don't like being around intense stuff because also a few days ago somebody was watching that Big Brother magazine documentary. You know, with the Jackass guys.
Oh, I heard about that. I haven't
that
seen it.
that behavior is too intense for me. I did not need to be around that because it's just shots of dicks and people pissing. Because that's what the magazine was, I guess, and just midgets coming at you. Just no. I could not handle it.
Well, so what else is going on in your world, Derek? What's been going on these last 6 months?
Well, I wanted to ask that if you guys had a similar freak out, but that I guess you said that time was your
I didn't have like a freak out though.
It wasn't a freak out. It was
I was
just
relaxed that day.
No. The one time the only time I've ever the only time I've ever freaked out was if I was drunk and then I got stoned, and then I'd freak out and then I'd throw up, and like that's bad. But as far as like freaking out, I don't know, not really.
Didn't you lose your keys at Kevin Smith's house or something?
Well, that was also I was like hungover to begin with because I was coming from a bachelor party weekend, and then I went to Kevin's house.
You're like Hunter S. Thompson.
But I locked my keys in my car when I was sober.
Oh.
And then I was beyond high, and I was like, I can't find my keys. I think they must be in the house. And so Ming and I had to go back in the house after everybody went to sleep, and we were stumbling around looking for my keys, and then somebody's like, Brendo, they're in your car, dude. And so then somebody helped me get them out of my car, and then You
didn't have to get AAA?
No, because one of the guys from Cop Out, who's an actual cop, had a Slim Jim for some reason.
I guess we should all have Slim Jims.
Somebody had a Slim Jim and just opened my car, and then I got yelled at, and then I wasn't allowed to go to Kevin's house for like 6 months.
Who yelled at you?
Probably Matt, and then I don't remember who else.
Why did you get yelled at? You didn't do anything wrong.
I left my keys in my car, and then we were walking, and then I made everybody go back in the house after everybody went to bed. I don't know.
Oh, you weren't allowed back?
I wasn't. It was.
Or are you guessing that's what happened?
No, I was told that by a couple people that I was. It wasn't. They just were worried that I was gonna like party too much. I don't know.
Wow, you're like the John Belushi of. You're like the Jim Belushi of this group.
But I earned my points back.
Who told you you couldn't come back?
Couple people. Well, Ming told me that I wasn't allowed to drink at the house anymore. And I was like, I wasn't drinking. I was just smoking weed. He's like, well, you can't do that either. Wasn't my fault, man. Well, it was my fault, but it also wasn't a big deal. It was fine.
You're cool. You're like my what do you call it? I look up to you.
Ming had
You're a role model to me.
Why?
I don't know, you're just cool.
Ming had a like incorrect view of me because every time he saw me just happened to be the one time I was like super either drunk or high. Like,
did he think you're like a big fat party animal?
I think he did because like one time we had a poker tournament and I just happened to be drunk at the beginning of the tournament. And he's like, Brendo, what the hell is going on? I was like, and I don't know.
You
and then
also
another
wild hair and a big wild beard.
Maybe they might have had to look. I don't know. But it's fine. It's fine. Everything's all good now. And like, I don't know.
All right. What have we been up to for the last 6 months? Well, Brendo did a very interesting thing.
Oh. What? What do you? Which one? I did a lot of interesting things.
To me, the highlight of the last 6 months is that Brendo went to Orlando for WrestleMania, and he's traveled for WrestleMania before,
Yeah,
but he paid. I won't reveal how much you paid unless you want to say. He
a
paid
lot of
for
money.
a VIP experience. He told me how much it was, and I'm like, you yelled at me for buying $100 Gremlins poster.
Will you tell me off air how much you paid, Brendo? Because I've heard rumors of this, but no one's given me a number.
So there's
rumors. I want to hear the rumors. What are the rumors saying?
Oh,
I'd like
Andrew
to hear
told me
those
you spent
rumors.
a lot of money on this thing,
Okay.
but he wouldn't tell me how much.
All right, you know what? I'll fucking say it.
Okay. Keep in mind you got a discount.
It was $1,500.
Markdown from
You got to do.
markdown
2000.
from 2. And it was basically a VIP experience for NXT.
So what I got to do was so Emily, you know what NXT is, right?
Come on. I haven't been at the game that long.
Okay. Well, so they got the performance center. So I got to go to the performance center and spend all day there, where you got to watch. You got to they kind of took you around. You got to eat breakfast and lunch with the wrestlers. You got to go to watch them train. You got to take a promo class. You got to do a promo in the promo studio. Then you got to do an entrance in their little arena they have there. And then they put on a private NXT show for just us, and you got to participate in it. They give you a job to do. I got to do a ringside interview with Oni Lorcan, formerly known as Biff Busick. You might remember Emily because we saw him wrestle a couple times. And it was all, and so I wanted, and then you got a video package of everything, and then you got to go to NXT Takeover, and we got to go backstage there. I got to go in gorilla position, which nobody gets to go in, and Michael Cole was back there. And then we went through the curtain, and I got to go through the curtain and stand on the entrance ramp, and they took our picture, and we got to go walk around backstage and see what it's like backstage at a WWE event, and it was really cool. And then we got to watch the NXT Takeover from a VIP box where the wrestlers came and visited us, and we got free food, and it was awesome. And that was what I got to do.
Didn't get free food, Brenda.
Wrestlers brought you
for
food.
package that included
food. Yeah. Well, so the first thing that happened when we got there was I signed my contract with Prince Albert, Matt Bloom.
And then I was like, Brenda, what are you doing? What are they taking from you legally?
And Sarah, well, it's a novelty 1-day WWE contract.
But what if WWE takes the Brendo Man name
I made sure they weren't gonna take the Brendo Man name.
What if they like that name and made a wrestler named Brendo Man?
Then we'll have some problems because I made sure that was not happening. So
do you have that contract framed or somewhere?
I got it. I don't know if I'm gonna frame it or not. Maybe. But so when they're like, all right, go upstairs. They're gonna do breakfast for you, and I walk up the stairs, and there's Shinsuke Nakamura, and with a bunch of the NXT wrestlers, and they served us breakfast, and I got to hang out with them for a super long time, and it was awesome. And it's a lot of guys, and Emily will appreciate this because it's a lot. The guys that are currently, and girls that are currently in NXT right now, are guys that Emily and I watched wrestle at indie shows back in the day, people like Roderick Strong, and Chris Hero is back in NXT, and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and some of the women wrestlers like Candice LeRae.
Is the Chef in there?
Oh, that's
Chef
awesome.
is not.
Candice LeRae rule.
Yeah. And Chef is not in there, not yet. Tommy End, who is really awesome. Like the aforementioned Biff Busick, and guys watching. So being able to meet these guys and hang out with them, and as they're living their dreams in WWE,
you're living your dreams of meeting them.
Yeah, but it was also just interacting with them, talking to them about stuff, and then I got to do Nakamura's entrance in front of Nakamura, and then I got to do his little dance with him.
So that's a lot to unpack here. First of all,
Okay.
from how you explained it to me, is that they did an extensive background check on you because they were afraid of
I guess.
nutballs. Didn't somebody like kill themselves at one of these before?
No, nothing like that. No.
No, somebody shot. Didn't somebody shoot themselves or something?
No, this had nothing to do with the WWE Performance Center experience. There was a crazy guy that was like hung out outside the Performance Center. This is somebody that lived in Orlando, and he was when the cops came to arrest him for trespassing, he shot at the cops, and the cops shot him.
So like now there's of extensive background checks. They got to Brendo. They knew all about him because he filled out like a questionnaire, and
yeah,
so they were prepared to ask Brendo things. I was interested
in a lot of things.
The other people that would pay that much for this experience, and they mostly look normal. they looked like okay.
Derek's
guys.
Evaluating all of the other.
Well, I thought it was just going to be a bunch of kids and Brendo.
No, it was awesome. There was these two brothers. It was their lifelong dream to do this. There was a set of 3 brothers. There was people from the UK. There was a guy from China. It was crazy.
Let's say I went to Orlando with you that time. Would they let me do it with you if they knew I didn't care?
No, you would have to pay the money.
No, I didn't eat any egg sandwich, but I'm looking at it. But I didn't care. I wasn't getting any enjoyment out of it. I was just standing there. I didn't know any of these people. They wouldn't go give you a friend pass?
No.
They should.
You would probably not have enjoyed that.
So then you did your promo, which was improvised.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
You think so?
Because you were like threatening
Emily, did you
people.
watch it?
It was very good. I watched it too.
Okay.
It was a good
and then
promo.
Your entrance was like watching a Stanley Kubrick scene. Like,
what?
This is going to be analyzed by scholars for decades to come. It was just like you I don't know aggressive Brendo, and then I know that's part of the wrestling mystique. So when you're like screaming and stuff, and like you're like a monster let out of a cage, and you're doing that move that I didn't know what it meant, and
it's just Nakamura's like little dance things that he does.
And then you got in the ring without incident, which I was very proud of you.
I did not get in the ring very gracefully. I went through.
But
I went through the middle rope, and I should have gone through the top rope.
I watched it several thousand times. There's no delay in you getting in there, so it's not.
See my underwear, man. I don't.
That was part of the experience.
Wrestlers, you'd see their underwear, Brendo. That's
I don't know. It's
just underwear.
You have to understand how nerve-wracking that whole experience was, because like the entire NXT roster, all these wrestlers, and then other veteran wrestlers like the trainers, like Scotty Too Hottie and other.
Do you think they would have cared if you were bad at it, though? I don't think
they would have laughed at me. I don't want to get laughed at.
Well, either way, it's a very interesting video that really should be point by point analyzed for the cultural reverence of it. And it's just like the camera's circling you, and it's just like you knew what to do. I think you tried to climb up on that thing, but then you didn't.
No, I got there, and then I thought about it, and then I was like, nope.
I could see
because I was already kind of winded, and I thought about climbing up there, but I'm like, if I fall off this turnbuckle, what if I got hurt or something? And
you would go viral. You would go viral. Wrestling viral, anyway.
Well, I don't want to be a wrestling viral video
But you said you did. You wanted like wrestlers to jump off your belly or whatever. Because there's that video of the fat guy getting.
Derek's obsessed with this video. Have you seen the video of Seth Rollins doing a moonsault off of some?
Doing the
yeah. So Derek thinks that I want to do that.
I asked you. And
of course I would be that. I would do that. But it's not like I'm trying to be that guy. I just want to enjoy the show. I don't want to make the show about me.
But you'd want to be part of the show, though.
Well, yeah, of course, if it was given the opportunity. But the problem is a lot of these wrestling fans, like they want to make themselves a part of the show when they go to these shows and they act all obnoxious and
So
do
you're fine
stupid
with just
shit.
sitting there, but if you're invited,
Yes.
you'll go in. But you don't want to be somebody
No, I don't
shoving
want to be one of
themselves
those assholes because, again, this is something Emily can also probably attest to. There are a lot of dicks at wrestling shows.
I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Well, you went to one, so you know.
Huh.
But it seems to have only gotten worse in this era of like everybody's trying to like. There's these guys that just want to make themselves. I don't know what they think is going to happen, but they act obnoxious and say obnoxious things, trying to become part of the show. I guess I don't know.
They just get all ramped up in the show.
Well, yeah. I mean, you've been there, you've seen it. I saw you. I know.
I saw you guys did. Even you guys, what you guys did is probably pretty normal, but that was too much for me.
What?
When the guardrail got smacked into us, and you just like, yeah, and I'm like, oh god,
That's the best part.
Seeing anybody start screaming is always not good to me.
Oh, it's fun.
I've never seen you two like that before.
That's because it's what you. But it's not like it's just a fun thing to do. It's fun.
And that was not even. I mean, you went to the Orlando theme parks, but it was second to your wrestling adventure.
Yes, but the Orlando theme parks were great.
And I was supposed to go like a week or two later,
and
then on the day before I was supposed to leave, something bad happened, and I had to cancel it.
Are you still mourning that?
I like that I was excited. If I knew I wasn't going while you were there, I probably would have felt terrible, but I was kind of excited looking at the stuff you were doing there because I knew I was going to do it. Does it make me a bad friend that I'm like glad you didn't see Gringotts before me?
I went in there.
I know, but you couldn't ride the ride. That was another adventure you had. The Easy Pass adventure, or whatever they call their Fast Pass.
Well, I got a lot of stand-up material from that experience, let me tell you.
But you handled it really well. I was living it with you in real time.
I was kind of sad for a while between that and dealing with like, because I was like my brother's wedding was like the next weekend, and I'm getting like text messages about things that need to happen for that, and I'm stressed out because it's like I'm trying, like all of a sudden my brother's like, you need to get fitted for this tux, you do this, you need this, and I'm like, I'm trying to have fun at WrestleMania and at the theme park. I don't need this right now. And Derek's like living vicarious through me. He's like, just hold your phone up. I want to hear what songs play.
I just wanted to live it for a moment.
It was fun though. I rode the ET ride like 6 times.
Do you want to talk about like that first night though?
What?
Like, well, you did research beforehand.
I did, but I got some bad information about the Harry Potter rides.
About who can't ride those rides because of size issues.
So first I get in Gringotts and I'm all excited and then I get
You said Gringotts instead of Gringotts. It made me laugh. I'm sorry.
Is it Gringotts?
It's Gringotts, but I like it when you say things your way.
I like
know it was Gringotts. Well, whatever.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to break the rhythm. It just really tickled me. I'm sorry, Brenda.
It's okay. So I'm at Gringotts Wizard Bank, and I was kind of bummed because I did the single rider line, and you don't get to go up to like the goblins that like talk to you.
You don't see all the ride line cues.
But I got to see some of it, and they let me, and then afterward, they let me go back through to take more pictures because it's really cool. They got all the goblins, and there's like the main goblin, and you can actually talk to it.
What's the ride car look like? Like, what did you think?
It's like a mine train.
And then it
looks like the Mummy, kind of.
It was wide enough for you.
Well, I got in there, but it wouldn't go down all the way. The bar wouldn't go down all the way far enough. I think I would have been fine, but I'm not the safety commission or whatever the fuck, you know. So like,
how did they get you off?
Well, they come. They're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work, and I was like, okay. So then I was all sad, and I get up and I go, and then they were like, and then the guy comes up to me and he gives me like a stack of like, he's like, these fast passes were like super fast passes. They work on stuff that normally doesn't take fast pass, even in restaurants and stuff. And so I got a stack of those. So
and then you went on the main Harry Potter ride.
yeah, but then I
did research on that and said that they had
a car, but I guess that's old because they don't have a special car anymore. And
but you when you went up to them, you're like, I'll take that car, and they're like, that doesn't exist. And you're like, I did the research here, and
oh yeah,
like,
and
that
then
must have been frustrating.
yeah,
talk about the test seat lady.
Oh yeah, so while I'm like talking to this guy and he's telling me I'm too fat to ride Harry Potter: The Incredible Journey, this super hot Irish redhead comes up, and I'm wearing a Will Ospreay t-shirt. And she's like, I really love your shirt, mate. And meanwhile, I'm getting like told I'm too fat. I'm like, this is the worst time this could ever happen. And, like,
were you in the test seat?
I was in the test seat, and then the guy's talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he's handing me the fast passes.
And then she's like, "Well, I'll see you later."
And then she's like, "All right, I'll see you later." And I was like, "No!" That was like.
But did you say the ride operator had a comment for that exchange?
He was like, he's like, "Oh, that was rough." He said something like that. Well, because he felt bad. He was like, he didn't realize what was happening. And I'm like, that's the only time anybody's like, I don't know, like it's not every day like that happens. Like,
and then I told you to go on the Hulk coaster, and that was out.
Well, the roller coasters now all have, it's like the lap bar, which is fine, but then they make you have the seatbelt through your crotch, and that's not happening. So all of them are like that now. So they got that crotch belt.
Then you couldn't go on the water ride, something.
Well, I couldn't. The Dudley Do-Right one, those seats, like, because now it's like individual seats. So that wasn't happening.
But is that the first time that's happened to you? That doesn't happen to you out here, does it? At Disneyland or anything?
It's never happened to me at Disneyland, and I don't go to Six Flags, so
that was the first time.
A long time. Well, no, it happened on the Batman ride, like back in the day.
I remember the sign for the Batman ride said, "Guests with larger upper body proportions have to do a test seat or whatever."
Well, I mean, it's fine, you know. I've had but I learned my motto for these things: the way you get sympathy and get free stuff.
Act like you're about to cry.
Don't get mad. Get sad. Because then they will hand you all the fast passes for your sad fat ass. And
were you actually getting sad, or were you putting it on?
A couple times. The first few times I actually got sad, and then I realized, hey, if I sit in this test seat and look sad, they'll give me free stuff. And could
that please be the that tag at the end of the episode?
What?
Where you said all I have to do is sit in this test seat and look sad, and I'll get free stuff.
That's true. Because I saw other fats like yelling and getting mad, and they don't get none.
They didn't get a free pass to the restaurant.
Nope.
And then the rest of the
I'd have to wait in a half-hour line for the restaurant. Yeah, it was fine. It was great. I went on all the Dr. Seuss rides. I went on the King Kong ride, which was fucking awesome. That was one of my favorites. But my definite favorite is Spider-Man. Like you said, it's fucking incredible.
Did you go on the Skyway Dr. Seuss ride?
Yes. That's pretty goofy.
We had talked about this recently that you were gonna go to Legoland for that field trip, but then they changed it.
Yes.
And you don't want to be an adult alone at Legoland, so you would need somebody to go with you. So how did you feel in Dr. Seuss Land, riding rides on your own?
It was in the morning, so there was nobody else there. But after a while, I'm like, I probably should go somewhere else.
Did you have that big hat on? I've seen you wear that hat at Spot Castle.
Which one?
There's like a big tall
Matt made me wear. Fuck that hat. That was just a dumb hat that Matt made me wear.
I know, but that'd be cute seeing you on all the rides. Like, oh, that guy was a big Dr. Seuss fan, and now he's finally got to Florida. Now he just wants to ride Cat in the Hat all day long.
There was like families with their kids, and they kind of were giving me like a look, like, what's this dude's deal?
Did you approach any children with rhyming scheme? Like, hello, fair
Yes,
ones.
I went up to
look and
kids,
see.
and
I am the Brendo in the Brendo friendo.
Brendo Friendo.
You know, and this doesn't apply to you at all. I'm just saying what this reminds me of. So, and I did so much research on all the Florida parks and what I was gonna do,
You
and
were
all
gonna
the
go to the
secret
weird
thing.
Bible land.
I was gonna go to the weird Bible land where they have like a crucifixion show
I
like
think you would
twice
have hated
daily.
that place. You would have been so freaked out.
But it's a theme park where they have a bloody body being.
Also, your
Dragged
money is
through the
going
crowd.
straight into the hands of TBN.
But we had talked about that your wrestling money goes in the hands of like Trump supporters.
That's true.
So in the name of
But
fun.
everybody's money now probably goes into the hands of Trump supporters eventually.
You're right, because if you watch Seinfeld syndicated, like that's how Steve Bannon made millions. He
Also,
like
if you
owns a
wear
piece
New
of
Balance
Seinfeld.
shoes,
I don't do
lots of
that.
stuff.
Who
But there's
has-
all
I mean,
everybody's things. There's only like 4 corporations that run everything. So eventually, your money is gonna go somewhere you don't want it.
And that's why I wanted to watch a man being dragged bloody through the streets at a theme park. But anyway, I researched stuff.
They also have like a
and
Noah's Ark reproduction and all this other stuff.
it's all like museum. It wouldn't have been worth it, actually. I was thinking of not going because it's all like
Hated it.
exhibits, and I thought they would have like cool Bible themed food. It's just a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
It's just a Chick-fil-A cafe. But I was researching stuff. Oh, what was I? I think I lost my train of thought. I think I was
You're researching for your trip. You know.
And then I got
do-
plowed by Brendo. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, you were very excited about it, and then it didn't happen, and I feel bad, and that's why I was horrified when when I was like, Derek's not going to get to go to Comic-Con. I couldn't have taken that away from
I
him.
was feeling that, but you know, you fixed that, and I thank
We're all
you.
figured out, and the Comic-Con panel is on, baby.
God, what was I about to say about Universal? Anyway, I researched like the foods and stuff, and where to get cheap foods and all that, and I watched all the ride. Well, after I watched like the Jimmy Fallon ride video, and that looked like really ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. It was the my favorite part about it was because they were doing soft openings. Well, one, you don't have to wait in line.
He was there that week or something.
Yeah,
like that.
they did the Tonight Show or whatever from Orlando. They were taping it in the Blue Man Group Theater, which is also, as you let me know, the TNA Impact Zone, and it is also the former site of Nickelodeon Studios.
That makes me sad that all that went down and just kind of went away.
And now there's wrestling there.
Even the Nickelodeon site here that had all the later shows like the Victorious and stuff, even that's kind of been abandoned.
But it's still there, right? Like,
it's there, but all the Nick paint is gone.
Oh,
I think they may have sold it.
Isn't that where they have the Kids' Choice Awards?
No, they have those in like big venues like Staples
Okay.
Center and stuff. But yeah, I'll go to Orlando soon. I really wanted to ride Gringotts.
Well, it's pretty.
I was gonna bring my wand because they have a whole other area to play.
Oh yeah, in their Diagon Alley, then they have a Nocturne Alley, and it's all dark and scary, and kids were freaking out. That's pretty cool.
I wanted to do that.
Kids were like crying and shit.
Oh, I even watched like all of the ABC Disney World shows.
My favorite thing about in Nocturne Alley was they have the Bergen and Burke store or whatever, Borgen and Burke's, and the employees are like mean wizards, so they're mean to you. Like the girl at the checkout was like, "Oh, what do you want, Muggle? Oh, you and your dumb Muggle plastic. What do you?" She's like, It was great. I loved it. Like,
but watching the Full House Disney World episode, like Danny paid for it all, and it's like 10 people.
That must have been like $10,000.
I know, but he's like, so they're staying in the
Good Day San Francisco really pay that much?
they're staying in the Grand Floridian, which is the most
The
expensive,
most expensive
hotel there.
yeah.
And he's like, "We've got to save for this trip." I'm like, "You're staying in the Grand Floridian. You're tricking John Q. housewife or John Q. Dad."
The thinking like they're never gonna stay at the Grand Floridian. They're gonna be staying at either the Pop Century Resort, which is the cheapest one, or you're gonna be staying down where I stayed this time in Orlando on International Drive with all the salt of the earth folk. It was great though. I loved it. The International Drive area is like the tourist trap to end all tourist traps. I've never seen more.
Did you go to that McDonald's that had like a whole
Yeah.
other restaurant in it, and they had like a theme park inside it, basically?
There's a theme park inside, and then you can order everything on the computer, and it's crazy.
And then there's like there's like a separate deli menu.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's affiliated with McDonald's at all.
Story McDonald's. It's insane. Everything is like the biggest. Like their Pirates Dinner Adventure has like 4 different shows. There's like 8 million escape rooms. There's like all kinds of crazy. Every restaurant you could ever want to go to in the world. They have. See, Emily will appreciate this. They have the biggest Margaritaville.
Are you into Margaritaville?
Well, just from my brother, and me.
Oh, okay.
They talk about it. Emily, are you still there? Did we lose you? Is that a yes? Can't hear Emily.
Well,
can you hear Emily, Derek?
No. Well, hopefully Emily will return. But before I'm done with this Florida thing, I had another Florida thing I was going to say. Then I forgot. Well, anyway, I'm glad you had fun.
I did.
It's kind of like I went hearing about your adventures. I wanted to eat in the Greek restaurant.
The Mythos? It was so good.
I wanted to. But now my focus is on that Guardians ride. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I've watched all 6 versions of it. Well, and it looks great. And they have Guardians food. They have green tacos.
Where?
They just, had a little pop-up cafe for it.
Like near the ride? Is this in Florida or is this?
This is a California adventure.
Like, okay. Oh, okay.
And they have like green tacos.
Emily, are you back?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You might have to edit out me asking if you could hear. Because you couldn't hear me, and I so you talked over me. And that's on the recording. So sorry.
That's okay.
We were talking about blue nachos. They have like blue nachos at the Guardian. We were talking about the chips.
That would be really gross if it was blue cheese.
At the Guardians ride at California Adventure. They have frozen cherry Coke.
Ooh, where?
At California Adventure, and it's called the Cherry Necroblaster.
Oh, dude, I want that. It's just so fucking expensive now. Like, I'm gonna be there I'm officiating a wedding at the Disneyland Hotel, but I'm gonna be there, but like I can't afford to go to Disneyland. Can't afford that shit.
Well, not now. Like, are you still paying for your trip?
I'm paying for everything. I'm paying for my car. I'm paying for my trip. I'm trying to save up money. My next big trip, I want to go to Japan.
That's crazy.
Well, it's crazy. It's a crazy dream that I'm gonna do.
And the reason you want to go is mostly wrestling related.
Well, now I might wait because now they just announced that they're gonna build a Studio Ghibli theme park. So I might wait till I might wait till that's open. But I also don't want to wait too long because what if they take the Jaws ride out of Universal out there and I never get to go on it?
I don't think you're missing anything.
That Jaws ride looks amazing. I want to go. Did you get to go on it?
No.
So what do you know?
I've seen the video of it.
It looks amazing.
I like that wrestling has inspired you to travel to different lands.
It has, but it's fun. I get to go to different places every year. Like, 1 year, Emily and I went on a road trip, went up to San Jose. But then like next year I went to Dallas, and then I went to Orlando, and next year I'm going back to New Orleans where it all started. That was my first WrestleMania, was in New Orleans, and next year I'm going to the same place.
Do you think you'll ever go to dangerous places like weird Malaysian wrestling stuff where there's
I don't know. I went to Thailand. I've lived in China. I stayed in the Chungking mansions in Hong Kong. I can
What's
handle
that?
myself.
What's the
It's the
Chungking Mansion?
scariest. It's the scariest youth hostel in the world.
What was going on there?
All sorts of crime, probably. It's not. It was not. It was not a beautiful. It was very scary. It was in this giant building. The first couple floors are like all these seedy, like money exchanging places, and other. Allegedly, a lot of criminal activity happens there. It's all just like, and just these like really dingy. There's a movie called Chungking Express. It's a very famous movie that takes place there.
You've led a life.
I've
No wonder
traveled.
whenever I'm freaking out about something, you're always like, "Yeah, don't worry about it," because you've seen like the worst.
I've seen a lot of shit. I mean, my travels in Asia, like I mean, I've been through it all, man.
So what's Emily been up to in the last 6 months or so? I know you have a new podcast that we previously talked about.
Yeah, that's correct.
How many episodes of that has been out so far? Just one?
We've recorded 4. I think 2 have been released so far.
I think there's 2 up, yeah.
How long are they? They're not a minute long talking about the minute.
No, they're like 20 minutes each episode.
It's nice. It's a good length. It's nice but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Is this a format that you took from something else, or are you inventing this format?
The Star Wars Minute, they were the first ones to do it, I think, and then they actually have a whole website that's just like a database of all the different movie minute podcasts. So we definitely did not invent the format.
Okay.
Man, there really is a podcast about everything. I just found out the other day that there's a Silk Stockings podcast about the TV show Silk Stockings. Like, what the fuck, man?
What else have you been up to?
Now I didn't have one last time we talked.
That's nice. And you've been watching a lot of movies with her. Apparently for the first time. Here's where I take issue with you. You probably like Warriors of Virtue as much as you do
such an
Ninja
awful
Turtles.
movie.
Have you seen the film, Brendo?
Not in like when it came out.
I've never seen it, but I still feel the need to say that's probably wrong.
There's no way. It's not as good. It's nowhere near as good as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
If I step outside the bit for a second, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is probably better. Yes, but
okay, great.
Virtue is really good.
Could you take us through the plot? Because I've never seen it.
Virtue?
Yes.
A young child is he's sort of thing in the movie. I will say this: the movie does not do super well. Where the kid is disabled, like one of his legs. It's not really explained what the issue is, but until he goes into the mystical world and he's like, "My leg is healed," and it's like it was never clear that his leg was not healed before. But he's sort of like he's not good at football. He's kind of this weak little skinny nerd kid. And he goes to where all the cool kids are hanging out, and it's like in the sewer, and they're daring him to walk across this like really thin spray paint the other side of the sewer, and then he falls in, and it turns out it was a portal to this other world,
just like Super Mario Brothers.
Kind of, yeah. It's a genre that I really enjoy. And then
and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. There are these sort of anthropomorphic kangaroos they're the titular warriors of virtue.
Kangaroos?
Do they talk?
They do talk. They're like the turtles. This movie is very clearly a ripoff of that. But it's the same kind of look.
And they each have like a personality. Like one's the leader, and one's the mouthy one, one's the party one.
There's no party one. They're sort of more adult characters. They're not teens like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but
They're virtue, or do they represent each virtue?
not really. I think all of them just sort of in general are
They're all virtuous
characters.
warriors.
For a while is the problem. One of them was like injured or something, and couldn't be a warrior for a while. So the kid has to like whip him back into shape to defeat the evil. Great bad guy. He's we looked him up when we watched. I can't remember who it was now. Villain. The kangaroos have to take him down. It's really good. Check out Warriors of Virtue at your local home video store.
And that's Emily's recommendation.
Was that the first time you watched it?
I found out about this movie because my friend and co-host of Ben Beyond Spielberg, Justin Keyson, brought it up as one of his least favorite movies of all time. About it,
and you took that up as a fucking challenge.
While he was talking about it, I looked it up just to see what it looks like, and I was like, "Oh, this seems right up my." Right.
And what is that? Is it just because now that you talk so passionately about Warriors of Virtue, I don't know why I think of Shazam. For some reason, I think the kid in Shazam is the same kid in Warriors of Virtue. But I like to think, well, maybe Emily, as a kid, had weird mystical adventures, and I don't know. That would shape your personality. I would believe it.
I mean, my love of Kazam, I think, is firmly grounded in my love of Shaq and his acting style.
What do you feel? I was going to also ask you. This is sorry. I'm about to like take us on a different track here. The recent hubbub about that there were people that thought that Sinbad was in a Kazam-like movie.
Yeah,
that
just thought the movie was
clickbait bullshit. The Bernstein Bears thing Derek, is actual time travel.
Derek, you just participated in that thing though, because the movie is called Kazam and you called it Shazam, which is what people who think.
When did I call it Shazam?
You said Shazam just earlier. That's what made me think about all this.
Did I?
Yes.
Well, I didn't. Okay. Well, that's okay.
And then there's people that insist. Okay, so Emily, my take on this is that it's just racist, right? It's just people are racist.
Yeah, it's 100% just racist.
Okay, that's just good to hear. I didn't know if maybe you would like.
Yeah.
I know you're a big Kazam fan, and
I found out about this.
Yeah,
it's very good, Derek. It's a very good.
And then in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, there's a great reference to Kazam in one of the songs. Like, I just want love really rained on me like candy on that kid in the movies.
I was so sad that the Shaq Big Show WrestleMania match did not happen. I was very upset.
Speaking of Shaq, did he do anything recently to make somebody upset? Because you know all these celebrities are. Are we still good with Shaq?
Shaq's cool.
There was people got a little worried because on his podcast he seemed to be coming out in support of the flat Earth theory.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was a joke.
He was joking, and
he was joking.
He was clearly joking, but still he had to come out and be like, "Idiots, I was joking."
The same thing happened with AJ Styles recently. The same thing. Yes.
Well, there are a lot of for some reason.
There are some celebrity flat earthers out there, which is completely insane.
And there are a lot of NBA ones, right? Isn't other NBA players into the flat Earth theory?
Players, B.O.B. I know was big on that flat Earth tip.
I don't get it.
For a while, I was in a flat Earth Facebook group.
What?
There was some wild content being posted in that group.
Do they also believe in like a? Well, I guess you couldn't if you believed in a flat Earth, you couldn't believe in a hollow Earth. But it seemed like it might be the same kind of people.
I would imagine. I was never in a hollow Earth group, but I would imagine it's a similar.
Oh, dude,
sort of impulse.
Phil got me into the world of hollow Earth theory. Like it's
like there's a world like journey to the center of the Earth.
Yes.
One of my favorite sort of sub theories in the flat Earth theory is that Antarctica, according to flat earthers, is an ice wall that surrounds the outside of the disk. Actually, and there was one theory.
The disk. I like that.
There was with it that I saved on my phone that I enjoy looking at because I want to write a young adult novel set in this world. So you have the ice wall, which is Antarctica, and then beyond the ice wall, there's like continents. So there's like a whole nother past Antarctica, according to this one theory that we haven't discovered yet. But, the government has kept it a secret.
Because because all these flat Earth theories include some kind of conspiracy to cover it up, which to me is like where you really enter like holy shit territory.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're like, what do they believe that like when you go on airplanes like they like gas you or something?
I'm sure there are people out there who believe that. I think some of them believe that the lends itself to a magnetic pole, so that you think you're going straight, but you're actually curving, which is why you can circumnavigate the Earth. You're actually going in a circle above the disk instead of around the world.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay.
I know that you've been eating a lot healthier, Emily. I don't know if all of the recent soda news.
Oh yeah.
Has made you.
Yeah.
What is your soda? You don't drink soda much anymore?
Correct. I would say every once in a while I will cheat a little and have a soda. I would say once every 2 months I'll have a soda.
Especially what are your thoughts? So first of all, did you tip me off to this? I don't remember the black currant.
I did,
which is Pepsi Blue. That is totally Pepsi Blue.
I still haven't tried it because I'm worried I'll like it too much.
Oh, you will. If that's you better be, because it is Pepsi Blue. I'm telling you.
I caved,
and it's not blue.
And then color. I've seen the can. I haven't drank it.
The color's different, but it's still the taste.
Wasn't it just like melted icy, like blue icy?
Nah.
No. I mean, you're not totally wrong. It was a little bit that, but it was so much more as well. But someone in my house drank it before I could, which was probably for the best. So I still haven't tried it.
Well, then they've also introduced Pepsi Fire,
which is cinnamon.
Previously was only
like 3 different products in the last year that sound a lot like Pepsi Holiday Spice, which was my favorite Pepsi variant. So things have gone crazy right now. In the Pepsi world.
I had the Pepsi Fire because that was available in Hong Kong and Thailand when I was there. I've had the Pepsi Ice too, which I don't think has been released yet, but it's coming.
And you're, Brendo, always fighting, because you live in the boonies, basically. You're always fighting for those flavors of Doritos and sodas, right? Because I
can't find any of that shit out here. Sometimes
but didn't you have to talk to a man buying Doritos and kind of ask him if he was going to eat both bags of the flavor that you want? You went
this kid. Okay, so here's. I thought we talked about this on Popsicles, or was it Radio Brendo Man? I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Well, anyways, fine. This fucking kid. Like I'm reaching. So it was the buffalo chicken. No, it wasn't that. It was. I forgot what flavor it was. It was one that recently came out. They're super limited now, which is bullshit. I'm tired of this limited edition food shit. Where like I have to go on a hunt for stuff. It's fucking food. It's bullshit. But
it's just like the ancient times.
Fuck. I guess
when the hunter-gatherers had to go find food.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I had a food incident when I was trying to find a rare food recently at Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
I saw on the internet that the Taco Bell test kitchen in Irvine was testing nacho fries.
The fries, yeah.
Which I don't have here. That's very exciting to me. I love fries.
And we've both been to those. Fries. I got the Cool Ranch Dorito first there when they were testing it.
Yeah. So I went to the test kitchen. I didn't plan my whole day around it. I also made plans to see a movie at the theater there. But I was pretty excited. It was a very exciting moment. I pulled up. I said, you guys, which worried me. And then I said, oh, do you guys have nacho fries here? And then they laughed at me.
Oh.
Well, when I went, I fully...
Like what?
I fully expected to have the carpet tugged from under me when I went because there was no signage, and I knew it was a test kitchen. But they did wink and give me the taco. But when I went to eat the black Whopper a couple of years ago for Halloween, there was signage all over the place.
Story haunts me. I think about this a lot, Derek. I remember this happened to you, and I think about it a lot. And it's
and then I'm like, one black Whopper, please. And they're like, what? And I'm like, look around. And then they're like, we're not serving those again until April. I'm like, it's Halloween. I don't want an Easter black Whopper. Somebody better go back there with a Sharpie and fucking make me a black bun.
Canada next month, and they have nacho fries all the time, so I'll get my fries. But it's
You're going where?
Canada.
Oh, okay. So where was I going with all that?
Well, I was I didn't finish.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Did I finish? No,
you didn't.
Well, it was the new Doritos flavor. This kid. So there was one bag that the kid had, and then I was reaching. There was a bag that was not in the proper section, and so he had the last bag that I thought, but then I saw another one, and as I'm reaching for it, this kid fucking grabs it.
The same kid?
Yes. And he already had one bag, and then he grabbed that bag, and I'm like, are you really going to take both bags? Like, yeah. And then his dad was there, so I didn't want to, I don't know.
Do you think...
you should have told on him.
No, what if the dad got involved?
Saw it happen, so...
And if the dad got involved, and then now Brendo is, asking kids weird questions at the supermarket, he doesn't want to get into that mess.
And then I'm like, that was the last bag, and the guy's like, too bad.
He said too bad?
He just was like, yeah, I know. Or he's like, yeah, I know. And
was this
basically?
I like that you kind of pushed it, clearly, you did give it your all.
Well, I was like, dude, that's the last bag. And it wasn't even that was my gut reaction. I was like, what?
I feel that was the proper maximum reaction to that.
And also, he only saw that other bag, I think, because I was reaching for it.
So you were just really slowly going for it, or did he just jump in front of you?
I'm like, so he's he's kind of to the side of me. He grabbed this other bag, and I thought he was looking for more. I don't know what he was doing. And so I immediately see this other bag, and I'm reaching, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, is that it? And then he just yoink, grabs it right in front of my face.
I'm kind of proud of you that you didn't that sounds like something that you would get upset by.
I'm not going to get upset at a kid. I work around, I have a high tolerance for kid bullshit.
But also, if work gets around that you were arrested for punching
I would
kid
lose
over
my job,
at
so.
the supermarket.
I definitely wouldn't get hired at another school, that's for sure.
That's promising. Well, I commend you. That sucks. That reminds me of when my brother took the last Anakin off the peg during the episode 1 toy thing, and this adult came up to us. He's like, do you even know who that is? And we're like, we don't care. We're just kids that want toys.
I would have kicked that guy in the nuts.
Do you ever think that, because you're in the mindset that, we're those 90s kids fighting off the burglars. What if, I was at a Chuck E. Cheese in the last couple of months with Henry, and it was like Problem Child, and I was Gilbert Godfrey. Kids are running around. I try to play skee ball. The second the balls come down, like roaches, hands come out of nowhere and all start grabbing the wooden balls, and they're flinging those wooden balls as hard as they can at whatever the hell. Foam darts are hitting me in the head. I'm like,
every day at work. That's me.
I used to be, we're Harry and Marv now. That kind of makes me sad. We're stepping in plaster and getting tarred and feathered.
Oh yeah, that's totally we're definitely transitioned. We're no longer I don't know. It's weird. It is weird, but you get over it.
At work, does anything happen? Do you get TP'd or anything because you're a teacher? Or
no, because because I could get them in huge trouble. But I mean, I've had some. The only thing that happens that sometimes bothers me is the kids all think I'm the cheesecake man.
What does that mean?
What?
Is that like a Slender Man? Like you're a
There's a guy that comes for
a
like
legend?
he does like these cheesecake sale fundraisers, and I don't even look like him. And they're always like, "Hey, Mr. Cheesecake," and I'm like, "Fucking kid,
Wait,
Mr. Cheesecake."
and you can handle that?
Yeah.
Because if I can
The thing
see
that I do get
opening
really
up
mad
a
at,
browser the next morning and saying, "Man strangles 10 kids in a weird fight," and I
I've
look at it,
yelled
it's
at the
you.
kids because sometimes they'll like knock on the library door when it's closed, and like I'm like, "Fuck off." Because they'll like sit there and pound on the door, and I'm like,
I'm worried that it'll trigger bad memories of your grade school, and now you're a big, powerful man, and you'll just Brendo
no, I
Hulk at
got
them.
over that. I got over that when I was a RA in college.
Oh,
That's when I
okay.
had the flashbacks because this little shit freshman was like, I've told this story a bunch of times, but this little shit freshman was like, he was blowing like one of those car alarm whistle things in the hall, and I'm like, yeah, that was really cool when we were in junior high school. And he's like, oh, were you fat then too? And I seriously had like some like psycho moment where I just like flashed back to junior high, and I grabbed him by his freaking shirt, just slammed him against the wall, and I'm like, what the fuck did you say to me? And he got so freaked out. He freaked out. I made him cry. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I had to apologize because I probably could have gotten fired.
Was that part of your Fen rage, or was that another time?
Oh, no. This was way after Fen rage. I threw my other friend against the wall because
What
he
was
was
he
making
doing?
fun. He was just shit they always do. And then I snapped because I was on speed basically, and I was like, you better fucking shut up. And I was like, boom. And I immediately realized, I'm like, oh God, Brett could like murder me. He's like a football player and like lifted weights and shit. But he was just so shocked that I actually like stood up for myself that he kind of brushed it off.
Are
But, yeah.
RAs as lame as they're portrayed and undeclared? Like, oh, they're trying to be cool, but they still have to enforce the rules.
No, I mean, we're just doing a fucking job. It was just a fucking job that I had to do.
You weren't trying to be friends with the kids or anything.
Well, I mean, I was friends enough that they were like people that lived on my hall floor, but I wasn't going out of my way. Like, I was like, yeah, if you want to come hang out, that's cool. Because people wanted to hang out in my room because I had a single room and I had a couch and we'd watch movies and shit. But it wasn't like I'm actively trying to befriend these freshmen. Most of them were dipshits.
Not that I'm
sorry, anybody that's listening that was on my. I'm clearly not talking about you.
Not to try it. It feels like I'm poking at you, but I also wanted to bring up that you got into a fight on Reddit recently. Again, I've never understood
it
why
was
rude
a
people.
lack of judgment on my part to even try to reason with. Because people always say, "Oh, Reddit's better. It's not as bad as the like." I'm like, yes, it is. It's
4chan or something.
It's there's just as many garbage people.
But you got into or there's this argument about fat people and they weren't being nice, and you got into it. And my response was, if some hacker, like some Mr. Robot hacker, finds out that you own DoritosFan.com, you might have to go in the witness protection program.
They probably would have had a field day with that, yes. So thankfully they didn't know that.
And that's how good of a friend I am. That
at least people were just trying to paint all fats with a broad brush, and that always drives me crazy. That it's still okay to do that in regards to fat people, but you why would you wouldn't do that with anybody else? So why is it still okay to do that to people of size? It bothers me. Now, I'm not one of those fat acceptance crazy people, because that get the extreme. There's an extreme to that I don't I'm not part of, but I do think you should treat all people with respect. So it's not okay to sit here and just berate fat people, calling them lazy pieces of shit.
Or
that's
for
not okay.
Whatever their case may be.
Exactly. And that's all I was trying to say. And these people were like, no, fuck fat people. You're on your own. You're a disgrace. Fuck you. And I was like, oh my God.
That's weird. I just never thought that. That just seems like such a negative
Well, these are like meathead,
view.
like just dumbos who are also probably, I don't know, it could also just be trolls that are just as fat, if not more fat, and hate themselves. Because there is a lot of self-hate in
I am
that
anti-dumbo.
world.
Don't like the dumbos. That should be your new shirt. It's a picture of your face. Don't like the dumbos.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't usually get sucked into that stuff. And like, I was at work and bored. And so that's a recipe for disaster, and ended up getting in this huge Reddit fight. But there were obviously people supporting me because my comment karma went up by like 200 points. Like people were upvoting me, but but these people were they're upvoting me, but they're not strong enough to get my back. Nobody fucking got my back. There wasn't anybody else being like, hey, this guy's right. They're just giving me upvotes, but that doesn't help me when I'm getting assaulted by all these fucking assholes. I don't know. And it was in the wrestling thread, which I'm like, we're all wrestling fans. It should be us against the fucking world. And you're trying, like, we shouldn't be infighting like this. So fuck you guys.
That's how I would figure a wrestling Reddit would be, that everybody's real aggro.
Oh, it is, but it shouldn't be, but it is. Because it's a lot of people that have like, there's just a lot of self-hating and a lot of like hyper masculine, a lot of like latent.
Everybody's all popped up.
That's Reddit too, though. Reddit's a trash.
That's also but then you add wrestling fans into that, like it's even worse. Like I feel like like double, because there is a lot of this just toxic masculinity. There's a lot of like latent homosexuality, which breeds a lot of like there's a lot of homoerotic stuff going on, and I think it brings up a lot of uncomfortable feelings in some of these people, and it gets kind of ugly sometimes. And so I don't know, but
that's the truth.
That's the world that I choose to live in. So,
we got to wrap up soon,
Yeah.
but I do want to include the new thing that we've been doing. Well, we think we did it once with Emily, where Emily takes over the Pepsi Twitter, which I hope is it still something you're interested in?
Yeah, I'll still run that Twitter.
Where we kind of test Emily to see.
Oh yeah, what she would
throw
do.
a few curveballs, and as it could be like a revenge thing, because as Emily's done in the past, instead of actually bringing her comments on the corporation face to face to anybody, they choose to anonymously tweet Wendy's or whatever.
Corporate Twitters have gotten a lot wilder since we last.
Dude,
episode.
What's your favorite? My favorite is either Wendy's or Arby's. I can't decide.
They're great, but I just mean like their willingness to engage with certain types of Twitter accounts. I do think this is a good thing, although it's the weirdest I saw was this was a Sonic the Hedgehog fan who had created a fan account where they were sort of doing sexual role play as Knuckles. And they tweeted at Jamba Juice, hey, Jamba Juice, will you cater me and Sonic's wedding? And then the Jamba Juice account says, of course, we know you've already got the rings. And then the Sonic account... And then the Sonic account joined in too, and it's just like, it's buck wild. They don't care. They'll as long as they're not saying bad things about the corporation, they'll just jump on anything. In a way that's exciting, but also
weird like movie promotions that they're not affiliated with.
Yeah, and they're getting the Arby's and the Wendy. I think that's the Wendy's person that's obviously a wrestling fan, or maybe
is an instigator, because like somebody would be like, oh, your burgers aren't fresh, you freeze them, and they're like, no,
dude,
don't.
That's my when Wendy's schooled that guy about like,
you don't know what a freezer is.
I'm sorry you didn't know what a freezer is, you dipshit. That's basically what they were saying. It was awesome.
Yeah, Wendy's goes hard.
Let me throw a Pepsi problem at you.
World. Okay.
Let's see what your response is. Why don't you sell Pepsi Max Zero in the 6-pack bottles anymore? I've looked in over 20 stores in 4 states.
This person has looked in 4 states? Is this true? Is this true? I was 4 states.
That's what this lady is. That's what this lady is claiming.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm not interested. Maybe my heart's not in it. Because honestly, I'm searching my feelings, and
You don't want to hear complaints like this?
No, I just don't care anymore. I don't think my heart's as in the game as it used to be.
Have you been making your corporate Twitter complaints like you used to?
I haven't seen them.
Apple, I knew when I switched over my Twitters when I came out, Applebee's did follow me over because they followed my old account and they kept following my new one. So shout out to Applebee's.
What were you complaining about with them?
I wasn't complaining. They followed me on my old account for some. I don't know why. They just started following me. And then
let me throw you one more. Let me see. Yeah. Let me just test the waters here. Hi, are any of your UK accounts still active? I wanted to have a chat about ending up in a hospital following a Pepsi, but no reply.
I mean, in that case, the real answer is I would just say, "Hey, I'm going to follow you. Send me a DM, and we'll have this chat." I feel like that's a fairly easy one.
That's what they did. I like when the human element is introduced. That you do step in.
Yeah.
You need a good one.
I'm looking at these, and it's all salty one. You don't make this anymore, and I guess if your heart isn't in it, you could be just like, fuck off.
Well,
try one of the millions of sodas that are made.
I mean, I sent Pepsi tweets like that, and their response to me was, "Oh, we like that product too. Hopefully, we'll see it again someday." That was what they sent to me.
What would you have said?
Me?
No, Emily. Like, I want to hear Emily's
kind of fun goof. Meet me in the alley behind the Pepsi factory, something like that. That's just
some schmuckos behind the alley at the Pepsi factory, just waiting.
I'll keep an eye on the security cameras to make sure that doesn't happen.
How about a positive one? Hold on. I love the Pepsi Fire, guys. It's so good. At Pepsi, bought me 2 12-packs, and then there's 4 pictures of this guy making faces, enjoying the can. How do you respond to that?
I quote tweet it with just the fire emoji a bunch of times in a row.
Well, this one, I feel this is similar. This one goes, woohoo, that, and then the thumbs up emoticon. That thumbs up feedback is getting us all fired up. See, yeah, you still got it in you.
Yeah.
It's sad that you want to retire it, but it's good to know that if we need it, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, that old magic's still there somewhere.
We'll try to make this more a regular thing. It's all schedules. Yeah. But
Derek, you're going to be the summer Phil on Radio Brendo Man.
We'll try to make that work. If you can be patient with my schedule as well, I'll try to do as many as you need. And I like that idea of Phil brought up reading a book. That sounds good. Because whenever you guys always read like kids' books, and I think I'd be up for that.
Whatever, pick one you want to read.
You guys have very closely, the more I hear, I may pick up one of those Anne of Green Gables books, which
they're really fucking good.
Younger me would have just fucking.
They're so good. Same thing, because I shunned them as a kid, and I'm so bummed I never read them as a kid because I think it would have given me more just reassurance that it's okay to be like an imaginative, bizarro kid, because that's the character of Anne. It's a celebration of imagination and about being yourself. And
I think of Little House on the Prairie and people getting cholera.
I mean, that does happen a little bit, but it's also a world of wonder, and these characters are so real.
What do you like better, Anne or the Harry Potter books?
I haven't finished all of the Anne novels, but I really like them. But I mean, they're different. They're very different. So I mean, I think I like Harry Potter better, but I love Anne of Green Gables is up there for me now.
Have you read those, Emily?
I have not. No.
What is your favorite book series, Emily? Are you a reader?
Yeah. Favorite series. I mean, it would probably be the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I really like those.
They're great.
I haven't read them in a long time though.
Did you watch Dirk Gently, Emily?
Which one?
The show?
New one?
Yeah.
The one with is it David Tennant now?
Oh, I don't know.
Elijah Wood.
There's been a couple. I watched the Stephen Mangan one from a few years ago.
This is the new one that like Max Landis is writing and stuff.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. No, I mean,
It's
I
actually
really
really
hated the
good.
last
It's
one.
actually really good. I'm telling you.
All right. I mean, I hate. I don't know. I don't really like Max Landis'
I
stuff. So
know. I didn't either, but it's surprisingly good.
All right. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. Because the Hitchhiker's series is my favorite, but the First Dirk Gently is my favorite individual Douglas Adams book.
Yeah.
But that Stephen Mangan, and I like Stephen Mangan, but that show was bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's some not so good stuff out there. I just finally, now that Derek let me know it's on Netflix, I'm all about that Riverdale now, man. Oh my god.
I really want to start that. I'm so behind on TV though.
I am too.
What's that show that you always watch? It's like a Japanese.
Oh, Terrace House. So
Yeah.
Emily got me hip to this show, Terrace House.
What is it?
I haven't been back on it for a while, but oh my god. Well, Emily, you can probably talk more about it.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It's this reality show. The way I always hear it described to people, and that I've taken describing it, is it's like the real world if they were just nice to each other.
Yes,
they were like adults. It's really
they're so polite.
very,
it's adorable, like how polite they are to each other.
I don't know how deep you are, and once you get to
I've gotten to where shit starts happening. Like
the one dude, those fuckers, I hate them so much. It's really bad. But hopefully I'll be through that block soon.
Well, I'm still on like the first series, but what's his face left the house, which was pretty devastating.
Makoto, the beautiful baseball boy.
Yes, the baseball boy.
Yeah, no, I'm still in the first series too, but it's just much later. They go through some rotations.
Yeah.
It's very good though. I highly recommend that. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. There's a second season out now called Aloha State, where it's in Hawaii. I haven't watched that one yet, but I'm excited to get to it. Yeah, I fell off that because I've been busy and I can't just put it on in the background because it's subtitled. Like I have to actually sit and
watch it.
Yeah.
Should I, when we're doing the summer Brendo Man, should I just do the whole thing as Phil?
If you want to, I don't know.
I feel I could do an entire show as you.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do Phil.
I don't know if I could do Phil. I also don't know if I could get out of the Brendo trance. If I am you, it'd be like Face Off. Like the only way to stop Brendo is to become him.
But Riverdale, man, Riverdale is like, as I described today, it's like Dawson's Creek times 1,000. Like Betty, it made me realize, like maybe all along I've just really wanted to, like Archie has been like Archie. It all goes back to Archie because I'm like Betty and Veronica are a million times more interesting than Joey and Jen on Dawson's Creek and
Jen.
Like Michelle Williams' character, because they definitely have a Betty and Veronica thing going throughout the series. But Betty and Veronica are so much better than all the imitators, and just everything about this show. There's mystery, there's suspense, there's like crazy drama. All the actors are so good, and Josie and the Pussycats are fucking great. And
when they played Sugar at the football stadium, I was mad at everyone that had watched that didn't tell me that this was happening.
But now you got to see it like pure.
I know, but I could have seen it.
Fucking good. It was so fucking good. Oh,
like,
and Luke Perry's in it, and he's fucking great. It's I don't know. It's such a good show. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
At what age do we have to stop having crushes on high school age?
Oh man, I don't know. I think like now. I think like right now, but it's hard. Right.
Speaking of right now, we'll end the show now and we'll do their plugs.
Yeah. All right. Well, be sure to check us out, popsiclespodcast.com. I'm at BrendoMan on Twitter, and we are at PopsiclesCast on Twitter. You can popsiclespodcast@gmail.com if you want to send in your letters, questions, comments. We got a Facebook page. All the links are on popsiclespodcast.com, but also BenviewNetwork.com for all the other Benview Network shows. We got Radio Brendo Man, which is my other show that I do with Phil Vecchio. Got Mr. Brendo's Wrestling Show. New stuff coming up soon. And that's pretty much it on my end.
I'm at Derek Armijo. I'll be on the Summer of Radio Brendo Man.
Coming up.
I'll try to make it cool and tropical. Summer theme. Go ahead, Emily.
I'm at very cool Emily on Twitter. Go to benviewNetwork.com. Check out all the shows on there. The ones I host are and Benview on Spielberg. Yeah, that does it.
What's your next Spielberg movie?
War Horse.
Isn't that like your least favorite?
I cannot reveal my least favorite until it comes up on this show. But yes,
Okay.
we did Indy 4 last episode. That was a real slog. And now we're into War Horse, so we're really in the thick of it now.
Really quickly, that top secret big follow up to Shut Up Leonard that hasn't been announced yet.
Well, that may or may not have been replaced by Super Mario Bros. Minute.
Really? Well, I think you should do that other idea as well eventually.
We may still do it.
Okay.
Super Mario Bros. Minute is a real tight. We do 2 a week because it's 104 minutes, so that'll be a perfect 1 year podcast.
All right. I guess that's it for now.
That is perfect. That's exactly, man. That's like freaking. That's podcast karma or destiny or something.
We'll see you next time. I've been Derek Armijo.
I'm Brendan Creecy.
I think I lost you guys. Did you say your name, Brendo?
I'm Brendan Creecy.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. I'm Emily Schmemily.
And that's been Popsicles, and we'll see you next time.
All right. And clear.
You turned off the chat or the live?
Not yet. I'm just saving the file. That's what I meant.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
No problem. I stopped recording, so
we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Be sure to just everybody send me your files